Hi everyone, welcome to a really quick introductory video on a new module running next year as a third year option, titled The Older Client. This is designed to provide a little more information about what the module will cover in terms of indicative content, on who is running the module, and how the module will be assessed. This module is available to all students enrolled on the Law LLB M100 and the Law with Criminology LLB M1, M2. It also forms part of the social policy pathway. So what does the module look at? And by this, I mean, what is the indicative content? Indicative because, lawyer's disclaimer here, it may change and develop slightly as we progress through the module itself. The module is split into two parts, with part one looking at the law of succession, building on the brief introduction to succession law that you have had as part of equity and successions this year. The module looks in more depth at the processes available for disposing of property after death. We will look at the difference between leaving property in a will as opposed to dying intestate. We will look at mental capacity when drafting wills and the process associated with lasting power of attorney. We will also look at the process of revoking a will, as well as looking at inheritance matters such as inheritance tax and disinheritance, with a specific focus on the Inheritance Provision for Family and Dependents Act 1975. Finally, we will look at the role of solicitors in the process of advising clients on these matters. Part 2 of the module focuses in on the medical issues relating to older clients. You will look at advanced decision making and do not resuscitate orders. You will look at decision making at the end of life, including assisted dying and euthanasia, palliative and residential care, allocation of health resources and rationing, and statutory duties of care. So hopefully a really interesting mix between two quite different but vitally important areas of law for older clients. So who will be teaching you? This module is delivered jointly between myself, Rebecca Marangon, and Dr. Tim Marangon. I will be delivering the sessions on succession, whilst Tim will be covering the medical law discussion points, with both of us building upon the topics that we have taught you previously. How is the module assessed? Firstly, there is a pass-fail portfolio. You will be presented with a variety of live briefs throughout the module and then asked to provide advice to each of the clients. 100% of the module will then be assessed by a viva. This will take the form of a conversation about your portfolio. You will be required to bring your portfolio with you to the practical assessment and then answer a series of questions on its content to assess your understanding of key areas and your ability to analyse potential solutions. In this sense, the assessment builds upon the approach used for equity at level 5 this year, specifically the oral practical assessment. So why should you pick this module? Well, first things first, the UK's population is ageing. With falling birth rates and people living longer than ever, older people are making up a growing proportion of the population. Because of this, issues relating to an older client are becoming far more prevalent. Equally, the recent pandemic has only made these issues more important and prevalent. Do not resuscitate orders, access to healthcare and vaccinations are all topics that have featured heavily in discussions around COVID-19. Equally, unfortunately, due to the high death toll, succession and probate departments in law firms have been at their busiest. According to the Law Society in April 2020, will enquiries in the UK increased by 76% when compared to the same period the previous year. It's also a module that is rare at an undergraduate level, with succession law in particular mainly taught at postgraduate level during vocational courses such as the LPC, and being a core component of the new SQE exam. Why else? Well, it's going to offer up a lot of scope for discussion and debate in some highly controversial areas, specifically do not resuscitate orders, LPAs, and euthanasia. We're also hoping to dedicate some time, be it in or outside of class, to a growing area of research relating to criminal abuse cases against the elderly. You may have seen a recent article in The Guardian looking at abuse of older women, which reported that 1 in 4 domestic homicides involve people over 60, the vast majority of these being female. This links closely to the potential for guest speakers. We have several practitioners who have expressed an interest in providing practical insight, particularly into the area of succession and probate, subject to their availability, of course, showing you what it's like to work in this area of law. Hopefully, that's provided you with some insight into this module and what this module will involve. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with Dr. Tim Marangon or myself. Thank you very much for listening.